Magic the Gathering, Pokemon TCG, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Force of Will, and Bakugan Battle Planet, the series that released in January 2019. These are some of the biggest games, or biggest niche games, out there currently, and I have played all of them. When I was younger, I played a lot of Pokemon and had an entire binder full of rare cards. But then, my mom sold them all for $5. Yeah, I was pissed, needless to say. I was 17 at the time, so I complained for a little while, and then I got over it. I still had all of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so that was good. Hello everyone, and welcome to the wonderful world of Weaver. Today, I'm going to be talking about one of the biggest loves in my life. Trading card games. From the list of the above products, I have played or owned every single one of them, though Yu-Gi-Oh was the only one I ever really played competitively. Going to local tournaments all over the greater Kansas City area with my friends, and attending regionals in KC. Even when I joined the Navy, my Yu-Gi-Oh cards went with me. I met up and played with a lot of service members who played as well. Again, we would attend locals and regionals in the Seattle area, considering it was just a ferry ride away from where I was stationed. And we got a few service members who had never played before into the game. It was all a lot of fun. After I got out of the Navy, I kinda lost focus on playing. I was living in California with my mother and I was attending a few locals. I even met a few players and hung out with them from time to time, but when I moved back home to KC, I kinda stopped playing for a few years. I still bought packs and collected cards, but I just stopped playing. I think it had to do more with the fact that I was playing more video games and getting into tabletop games like D&D and Pathfinder. Don't get me wrong, I had played D&D and Pathfinder throughout the years, but I just started getting into them more heavily after I got out of the military. Fast forward to about 2016 when I tried to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! This wasn't easy, however, since the only local tournaments were so far away. My friends had moved on from the game itself to bigger aspirations like D&D that were less competitive and more group-oriented. I had friends who were more than willing to duel with me from time to time, but no one wanted to attend tournaments, so going by myself kinda sucked. After that, I tried a bunch of different things out. Started playing Magic the Gathering with a few co-workers, but I never really liked Magic. The game was fun and the card art was amazing, but it was never really appealing to me. A while back, I had started playing Bakugan, but that was only ever really meetup scenarios. And that's about the time that the toys and the TV show were big. There were never really any official tournaments for it in my area. Pokemon was fun since I played a lot of the video games, but it just got repetitive after a while. Don't get me wrong, the game was great, but expansion after expansion, they were just releasing the same Pokemon with slightly different moves, slightly different levels, slightly different powers, and that just got boring. Then, a few months back, I found Force of Will, and oh my lord. It was a lot like Magic the Gathering, but separated the mana, for trying to call comparisons, from the main deck. And the art style was anime-centric, which was amazing since I love anime. I decided to buy a few starter decks and see if I couldn't get my friends into it as well. I was also going to get a booster box or two to see what decks I could make from it. Then I watched a video from Negative Legend. He's a part of the reason why I'm getting into the game. The CEO and public liaison were leaving the company, stating something along the lines of they were being taken over by another entity. Or just the CEO's contract was up and the Force of Will publishers didn't want to renew it. Then there was talk of canceling all the Grand Prix tournaments this year, which could have officially killed the game. But that wasn't going to stop me. I was still going to collect what I could and build decks to play with, even if it was just events held by players and with friends I could find in the community. At the same time this was going on, Bakugan came back into the limelight, this time in the form of Bakugan Battle Planet and a fully fleshed out trading card game. Again, thank you Negative Legend for throwing this onto my radar. Links to his videos on the Invitational Spin Master held in the description box below. Spin Master has plans on putting together tournaments for Bakugan, meaning competitive play. And thanks to that, I am hoping there will be tournaments in Kansas City. The game itself is rather simplistic, but it's the mechanics that bring the real challenge. The way the winner is determined is by who decks out first. Yeah, milling your deck is the primary form of keeping track of life for Bakugan. This brings a whole slew of challenges to winning. You could drop a card you need from taking damage or stop damage altogether by flipping a card, which flip cards are also the best alternative to resources in this game. If you draw flip cards, you can't use them, so throw them into your energy pile and have at it. Like every game though, this is going to have issues that players are not going to like. But that's for a different video. So I digress. Regardless to say, I'm looking forward to the competitive play in Bakugan. I still have all of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards and several decks, my main competitive deck and other decks I have been working on for friends to use for competitive play as well. For Bakugan, I have an Aquos and a Ventus deck put together, with a Pyrus deck to come because, and I am excited about this, I have 3 Pyrus Titan Dragonoids, 2 of which are Helix foiled that I pulled from packs back to back. Now all I need is at least 1 Dan Kuzo and that deck will be constructed. But what I'm waiting for, and excited that it should be coming out soon, is Dragonoid Ultra. I'm hoping it will be released in the next wave. At the same time, I'm hoping it'll get a Titan Dragonoid Ultra card as well. Also, I'm hoping it comes out in all 5 factions so I can have an Ultra version of all the Dragonoids I already have. I'll also be working on decks for Force of Will, one based on each of the magical stones. But it still remains to see how effective that'll be, considering they might be canceling all the Grand Prix, on top of the fact that I doubt there's going to be one in Kansas City anytime soon. That brings me to the last thing I want to talk about. I'm working on my own TCG, and I have rather big plans for it. At the same time, it probably won't take off, but it's a fun little side project, and I have a program from Steam that allows me to design card facings. I want to start commissioning artists from DeviantArt and Twitter to start drawing designs for the cards when I create them. But so far, I have had little luck with that. But once I have finalized the rule set and run a few different alpha playtests with my friends, I'll be starting a new channel based around the name of the card game. So, that has been some of my many experiences with trading card games. This video is what I hope will be the first of many in a line of TCG-oriented content. It has been a big passion in my life for a long time, and I hope all of you will join me on this ride. Thank you all for tuning in, and as always, remember, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and donuts are the best breakfast food. So eat up, stay healthy, and catch you on the next one.